The world's a dangerous place, and for the last 15 years we've been focused as an Army on fighting counterinsurgency, conducting training, advising, assisting, and enabling. We have shifted our orientation away from counterinsurgency training and advising to be ready to deal with those near-peer threats should we be called upon by a combatant commander. The 155, critically important for us to be able to meet our combatant commander objectives and requirements while simultaneously building capacity and capability to deal with these near-peer threats.
The design of the NTC rotation is to stress the staff to the fullest. We're operating against a very complex enemy situation, operating with very little sleep under very hazardous conditions.
This is where the real game is being played, where they really get force on force, because the next step is to deploy.
The value is there is no other place that you can conduct training such as this outside of actual combat itself.
This also allows them to work in a group, a bigger group than just platoon or company size. They get to work together as battalions. They get to work together as one brigade in a very big area out here in California to sort of validate everything they're doing.
Well, Mississippi is no stranger to the Mojave Desert. We've been deploying units here since 1990. I believe this is probably the 5th rotation for the 155 or elements of the 155 in the last 20 years.
We've got threats out here that are, guerrilla-like forces. There's some insurgency. We've got a host nation security force that we're going to have to, operate in and around. And as required, we're going to have to help them as well. So it's a much more complex problem set.
I expect hot days, some long hours, some very tough fights, but in the end, we'll emerge victorious.
They get really competitive and fired up about it once we get into it. When you get a kill, there's a little whoopee light that turns yellow and flashes, and when that goes off on an enemy tank, these guys lose it.
4x5 1 and 2.
Motivation, don't get down. It's hot, it's supposed to be. I mean, this is pretty much as lifelike as you're going to get to real combat. So, not have a bad attitude, suck it up and drive on.
It's very beneficial for me. It's a very immersive training environment to get field time, to see how the brigade works as a whole, and to learn my individual tasks as well as I can.
All units have a mission essential task. And so we come into the National Training Center, which is you train at the highest level. Right here, and it exercises all of your systems. So all of your systems have to be functioning, or they will not. They will break, and you'll have to how to overcome that.
National Guardsmen, we have limited time, and that's what we're always fighting. So when we get out here, we want to make sure the equipment is ready to go, the soldiers are available, and that we maximize every day that our families and employers give us to be out here and get the most bang for our buck.
This environment allowed us to focus on and identify improvement opportunities, particularly as it relates to sustainment and maintenance. Those are some areas that we don't traditionally get to focus on back home because we've got full-time personnel who help us take care of our equipment and prepare our equipment for use during IDT weekends. Here, we couldn't afford to do that. Everyone was forced to do their job from the lowest level all the way up to the highest. There was no full-time backup. We are all that we had, and it forced us to utilize our systems, and it exposed some areas of improvement that we need to focus on going forward. There were 3 areas of focus that the commander wanted us to improve upon. That was our combat capability, our leadership, and our communications. We put a tremendous amount of focus into each of those areas, and the improvement was significant.
definitely met their objectives. They definitely received the training that the reason we came out here, preparing for their upcoming mission. For the 155, they will be deploying in a year, and so they have fully walk away here with confidence, knowing that they can go and execute whatever mission task.
I think this NTC rotation was extremely successful. The training objectives that were laid out by the commander were all met, where we recognize plenty of opportunities for improvement, and that's really the intent of an exercise of this type. No one comes here and leaves without having learned something significant.
Every soldier that belongs to the Mississippi Army National Guard did an outstanding job. I mean, I can't say that enough. Also, we leave with heavy hearts. I mean, we had a fallen comrade, and our thoughts and prayers are with that family, and we will continue on in his honor.
To the families and employers and all those who support the 155 BCT back home, I want you to know that we appreciate the opportunity to bring our soldiers out here to this remote environment and train for a full month. I know that your sacrifice is difficult, just as difficult as ours, and I just want to let you know that we appreciate it.
This brigade has, and the state has, an incredible reputation. They're highly motivated, they're disciplined, they're committed, they're dedicated, and they want to serve their country. They have deployed previously, they've distinguished themselves in combat, and we're going to continue to ask the state of Mississippi and the Army National Guard to continue to make those sacrifices in defense of our country. It's important. It's important for us as a nation, and they're essential to the defense of this country and all the freedoms that we enjoy.